Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Tech Tuesday. We're going to be talking about quizzing specifically for academia in today's Tech Tuesday session. And we have Rob Dietz and Christina Corey, who are part of our educational technologies team. Before we get started, I just wanted to let everyone know we do have everyone on mute just to prevent any background noises. You know, sometimes people accidentally unmute their mics, and we just want to make sure everybody can hear our presenters today. But if you do have any questions at any point, please feel free to type it in the chat, and we'll be stopping, at some point during the session to answer any questions that you might have. We're also recording today's session, so if you came in late or missed anything, you need to leave early, we'll be sending a copy of this video to everyone who registered, and you can share it with your colleagues who may not have been able to attend, and refer back to it at any point just to go through all the topics that we discussed today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Rob and Christina. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks, Vanessa. Nice to see everyone today. We're going to talk about several of the quizzing platforms that we have already at Weill Cornell, but also want to, open the discussion to things that, we may not have yet, but might be needed just in the last several years as a lot of courses have gone more remote. There might be an opportunity to update some of the platforms that we have. So I'll just let Christina start us off here with Canvas.
Hi, everyone. So this first slide you're seeing is our agenda for today. We're going to kick it off with Canvas, our learning management system, which everyone has access to. We're going to focus on the quizzing features, both new and classic quizzes, different kind of question types, and grading and the capabilities within the gradebook for that. We'll also be covering ExamSoft and Examplify, which is what our medical students take their exams in. We'll be touching a little bit on proctoring. And lastly, quizzing within videos using Panopto. All right, so first, Canvas quizzes. Canvas is our learning management system, and we have all different kind of users that have set up Canvas instances. We have a few academic courses, a few training courses, and then a ton of our students are in here. They offer two different kinds of quiz engines. One is the classic quizzes, which is the original quiz engine they made when they developed the software, and then offering a new feature called New Quizzes. Quizzes allow you to set up question banks, import external quizzes if you have it created like in a Word document or something like that. Has the abilities to show one quiz question at a time, and you can create quizzes for all students, individual students, or section by section. So ton of flexibility. So we'll start by talking about the classic quizzes. There are 4 different types that you can create within Canvas: practice quizzes, graded quizzes, graded surveys, and ungraded surveys. The benefits of using classic quizzes are you're able to download the quiz submissions in bulk all at one time and kind of view them using whatever kind of questions you have submitted. You can review them in like a PDF format. You can use graded or ungraded surveys. So if sometimes it's a lower level questioning and you just want to get some results, you can set up a survey. Practice quizzes are great to help students prepare for larger examinations. And then currently you can use the student analysis report and or a CSV download of the grades from either one of these quiz types. And there's a whole bunch of different quiz questions that come with this. So I'll have Rob go on to the next one. So now I'm going to jump into new quizzes. A lot of these questions that you see over on the left-hand side are also available within the classic quizzes. What I'm going to highlight about new quizzes is not only do they offer a lot of the same question fields as the classic, but I want to talk about the new question types that they also offer on top of it. So new quizzes is still in development. They're always making, adding new question types, adding new features into this functionality. One of the new features is you can add extended time for one or multiple quizzes, and you can assign it to different students, different section, and provide different accommodations, which is very useful in our medical school curriculum. Always something going on that needs additional time or creating a makeup exam. So I want to focus on a question type called hotspot. So if we go to the next slide. Oh, before I get into the question types, I actually want to talk about some of the settings that new quizzes offer that weren't offered within classic quizzes. You're able to shuffle the question type, shuffle the questions, which means if you have like multiple choice, short answer, and all these different things, you can kind of shuffle between them and it'll be in a random order for each student. So nobody is receiving the same exams. You can shuffle the answers within a question. So if it's multiple choice, you can shuffle up the answers there. You may not want to do that if you have one of those questions where it's select all or maybe all answers above. But regardless, you can shuffle the answers within the multiple choice. You can have one question at a time provided on the screen. You can set it up so students have to type in an access code to begin the exam, set different time limits, calculator. You can filter out IP addresses if you're trying to, people from different countries are trying to take your exams. Clearing selections, multiple attempts. And, you know, if you have any questions about these settings, I'd be happy to meet with you one-on-one, but so those are those. So we can advance to the next slide. This was the question type. Sorry, we'll just go back through. Yeah, perfect. This was the question type I was referring to before called hotspot. So this is the one that comes with the new quiz functionality. And I think this is a great question type for a medical college. I have here in the anatomy of a man here, and the question is, where is the trapezius? So when setting up this question, I had set a hotspot in this general location on here or this part of the body as well, since they're both the same. Well, I believe they're both the same. All the student would have to do is click on the area of the trapezius and then hit submit, and you can advance to the next slide, Rob. And it will show you that the correct answer, that you've selected the correct area with the correct body part, and then it tells you, you know, you've gotten 10 out of 10 points and how long it took you to answer the question. You can always manipulate the feedback here. I have the feedback fully on so that you can see that a student could get immediate results, but you can also hide these results as well if you don't want to provide them after a student has taken a quiz. But these different hotspot questions can be only put on one area of a time. So by that, I'm saying you can't mark multiple hotspots. You can create an area with one large selection, but you cannot select multiple areas and create multiple hotspots. There's no like kind of select all or select multiple spots as of yet, but this feature may be coming in the future.
Hey, Christina, there's a quick question. In the hotspot, would the student see the blue circle? Like, is this what the view you're seeing as the creator of the quiz?
Rob, do you want to just go back one slide? Okay, so what I was doing here is I was pretending to be the student and I put my cursor on the blue dot. That blue dot was not there
Got it.
previously.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was pretending to be the student taking the exam.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
person creating the assessment would draw sort of a, an area that they would accept, any pin within that area.
yes.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so after we've created these fabulous exams and all with all these new hotspot questions and locating all the parts of the body, we could then move on to using the speed grader. The speed grader allows you to quickly grade examinations, assignments, submissions, and up at the top, you'll notice it gives you the name of the assignment, tells you which course you're in, and tells you the student on the right-hand side. And then all along the right-hand bar, you have this field where you can easily put the grade. You can also add in a rubric for the assignment and view the rubric in comparison to the assignment, and you can provide additional comments. What's pretty neat is all the way at the bottom, outlined in red next to the number 5, is you can either respond to a student's assignment by attaching an additional document, recording a video of yourself and sending it back to them, or sending a voice note. So this feature makes grading a lot quicker. Once you would be done grading this assignment, you would just hit the arrow and proceed on to the next student. You could also hit a drop down and search for a student if you specifically want to grade someone ahead of time. So this functionality makes grading a whole lot easier. And then once an assignment is placed within the gradebook, you are also able to reach out to students and reach out to them and send them a message. It could be, you can filter out the message to groups of different students depending on the assignment. So if you are sending a quiz out and all the students are required to take it, you can go to the assignment, open it up, and click the gradebook settings and find out by using this this grading feature, you can compose a message to only the students who have not taken the exam or have scored a low score on the exam, and create a message, and it'll actually send it to their email and let the student know, hey, you need to take this exam. It's required by the 15th. And you can also say you've scored below a 5 on this exam. You need to have a score above that to continue on within this course. So this is kind of like a great reminder functionality to make sure the students are completing their assessments. Does anyone have any questions about Canvas quizzing or any of the features we spoke about? I can also do a live demonstration if anyone wants me to dive in deeper to anything.
Yeah, and feel free to put anything in the chat if something comes to mind as we progress here. I'll go ahead and if there's no questions on Canvas specifically at this time, I'll go ahead and go to the next topic here. So another way that we can provide assessments, quizzes, and exams is using ExamSoft and Examplify. So this is a more secure assessment platform. We're currently using it in the MD foundational curriculum. The PA department also uses it, PA program, and the Cutter campus have all been using it, for several years. It can be integrated with Canvas. It has various types of questions that can be used, and it offers a robust way, to do the auto grading as well as reporting. What makes it secure, in the MD program, at least, we're using program provided iPads. So every student has, an identical device, an iPad that is used, with the Examplify app. And what it really does is it's a little bit like a lockdown browser. It gives them a window of time where they can download the assessment. They have a password to unlock the assessment, and then it also has a defined period of time when they can take the assessment and then submit it. So, the application really handles the taking them offline when they need to be, just doing the assessment, so they can't use other apps on their device. They can't use the internet during the exam time. But then it quickly, gets them back online when it's time to upload their assessment. It also handles review sessions. So if we know that we're having, an exam today and we want to review it on Friday, then it's already kind of built into the application and into the assessment when they can unlock and do that secure review session as well. We do have it integrated with Canvas. So when we create a course in ExamSoft, we just, grab that course from our existing Canvas course. It brings in the roster of students. And then, if we wanted to, we can also just automatically bring the grades back from ExamSoft to Canvas. Currently in our MD program, we still do a more manual export of the grades, just to kind of separate out some of the content areas. But this is, one of the features of the platform. Question types similar to Canvas. All the ones I'm showing here can be auto-graded except for the short answer. Those would still need to be manually read and graded by an instructor. There is a extended matching set type of question that's, pretty unique to ExamSoft. So that's something that, we could start using if people are interested in that. And the way that works is you're able to, set up a large matching assignment, and then you can actually set the scoring to prevent people from just guessing answers. So, there could be some good uses for this in the medical curriculum. Just a quick look at what you can do with the grading and the reporting. There are several different types of reports, including a custom report. So it really does give you flexibility to do what you want to with the data. And there's also categorization of the questions. So you can have questions tagged with multiple categories, which would allow you to, match up student performance to, certain content areas that could be useful for the program. And currently with ExamSoft, we're only using it with iPads and with program issued identical iPads, but it is possible to run it on individual laptops, student provided devices, those sorts of things. We just have to work through some issues with that if other programs are interested as well. Any questions on ExamSoft? Okay, let's also talk about proctoring. So when the pandemic hit, we really had to scramble, to quickly find ways to continue proctoring the quizzes. So both in the foundational curriculum in the MD program, as well as in BME exams, we had to figure out a way to continue running those assessments, but do it remotely. So kind of where we settled with the weekly quizzes was continuing to use ExamSoft, Examplify on the students' iPads at home or in their dorms or wherever they were. But then also doing Zoom proctoring. So having a second device, usually a cell phone set up kind of with Zoom to become the remote proctor. And then we had breakout rooms set up in Zoom so that, if a student has a question, they might have a tech problem with their quiz, or they might just have an actual content question for a faculty member, then we could put them into a breakout room with the person they need. And that's how we handled that. For NBME exams, this is students using their own laptops at home. And, the NBME exam has its own browser set up to run those assessments. And we use Zoom plus Teams, and then also, cell phones for communicating directly with students when needed. And a lot of that was due to, the actual rules that the NBME placed on us to proctor those exams. But we did find MS Teams to be really valuable as just a communication tool between ITS, the coordinators, and the proctors in the individual Zoom breakout rooms with students. So since that's such a large exam, sometimes, up to 100 students, we had separate, subgroups, so that, one proctor might be in a breakout room with 10 students, for example. Any questions about proctoring remote quizzes? Anyone have any experiences they want to share about doing that or attempting to do that? All right. Okay, I'll move on to another option. And this is, maybe not so much for graded quizzes, but just one way to ensure that people are viewing content or they've understood content. And that is, we can place quizzes within videos. So using the Panopto video platform, it's possible to place quizzes, before, after, or anywhere within a video, and having, even multiple quiz questions attached to a single video. Some possible uses for that would just be basic comprehension checks, ensuring that people watched it and they understand the content. Also just a little more proof that a video has been viewed. So instead of just knowing that somebody pressed play on a video and then may or may not have watched it, you might put in some little questions at the end of the video or sprinkled within the video that someone at least has to, interact with it and answer a question. The process to place a quiz into a video: find the position on the timeline that you'd like the video to appear. So basically, this is where the video will pause, present the question, and then the user has to answer before moving on. Once you do that, you have this new section added to your video that's quizzes, and you can add as many as you want here. Multiple choice, fill in the blank, a few other question types are available. And, this is what it looks like after you've created one. You get, shows where it is, some of the settings. Do you want this to be graded, not graded? Do you want it to, block their advancing the video until they've answered the question? And once you get some submissions, you can even report on the results. And yet another opportunity for quizzing is with our Poll Everywhere, usually used for survey questions live, but it can also, be used for surveys that are not necessarily, happening all live at the time of a presentation. The way that, this could be used to do something similar to what we do with like Canvas, for example, is it's possible to register your participants. So if you have a class and you want to use Poll Everywhere for multiple sessions and actually register your students and be able to track their responses and track their performance over the course, that's one option that you have. Okay, questions about ExamSoft, Poll Everywhere, or Panopto quizzing?
You can also raise your hand if you'd like by hitting the reactions button. And if you have like maybe a more in-depth question and you'd like to be taken off the mic, we can do that as well.
All right, if no questions at this time, I just want to also show you where you can get more information about quizzes in Canvas or anything else in Canvas. So from the help menu on the left in your Canvas, if you go to search the Canvas guides, you can find the instructor guide there, and then it's got a section defined for quizzes and lots of resources, lots of discussion topics related to quizzes in Canvas.
Any other questions before we wrap up? Well, just for anybody who was late, we are recording today's session, so you should get a follow-up email later today with a link to the video recording, as well as some of the resources that we just mentioned right now. We got to thank you in the chat, just expect that later today. But if we don't have any questions right now, once you see that follow-up email, it might jog your memory, to something you might not have thought of until later. Feel free to just reply to that follow-up email and we can help you as best we can. We'll just wrap it up a little early today, and thank you to Rob and Christina for teaching us more about quizzing solutions for our courses. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.